next 2 days, Prashant had huddled with his friend's family in the open on the rooftop. They froze in the cold and incessant rain. The rainwater washed away Prashant's tears. Now they were sitting on the rooftop and it was cold, right after getting wet in the rain, everybody feels cold. They got froze for a little, you can say. Prashant was actually crying, he was not feeling good, but his tears were washed away in the rain. The only thought that flashed through his mind was whether his family had survived the fury of the super cyclone. Now what he was thinking about his family actually, whether they were safe or not. Would they have survived in this super cyclone or not? This thought was there in his mind continuously. It is just like that somebody is living away from the family, and if some mishaps has been there, so a thought that comes to our mind about them only, about the family only. Was he to be bereaved once again? Now he was thinking about that, whether he had to be lost in the world once again. Was he supposed to be live alone again without his family? Then 2 days later, which seemed to Prashant like 2 years, the rain ceased and the rainwater slowly began to recede. Now after the 2 days of that incident, the rain stopped and the flood water which was there, it started receding, means leaving the space, leaving the place. Prashant was determined to seek out his family without further delay. Now he had already made a determination in his mind that he is supposed to find out his family without any delays. But the situation was still dangerous and his friend's family pleaded with Prashant to stay back a little while longer. Now, as the flood had not completely gone away, still there was water all around. So the family of Prashant's friend pleaded means requested him that you should stay for some more time, just wait for some more time. But Prashant knew he had to go. But Prashant wanted to go, he had already decided that. He equipped himself with a long sturdy stick and then started on his 18-kilometer expedition back to his village through the swollen flood waters. Now he only had one long sturdy. You know what is a sturdy?
Take for support.
So long stick.
Sturdy, strong one, healthy one you can say. It is used for having a good physical strength. Okay, sturdy. So he had that stick with him and then he started his journey. 18 kilometers he had to walk in that flood water from the village. It was a journey he would never forget. Now such kind of experiences, if you have already had an adventure in life, you might not forget that till now. He constantly had to use his stick to locate the road, to determine where the water was most shallow. Now he had to use that stick to find the path correctly in the water because he was not able to see. The flood waters are not clear water, they are muddy ones, and he had to use the stick continuously to find the path, find his way. At places it was waist deep and progress was slow. At several points he lost the road and had to swim. Now sometimes it was waist low, means the water was low than the waist. Then sometimes it was more than that, and sometimes it was the time that he had to swim, means he was not able to walk in that. After some distance, he was relieved to find two friends of his uncle who were also returning to their village. They decided to move ahead together. Now, after walking some distance, when he covered, he found two more people who were his uncle's friend, and they were also going back to their village. Then from that place they started walking together. As they waded through the waters, the scenes they witnessed grew more and more macabre. They had to push away many human bodies, men, women, children, and carcasses of dogs, goats, and cattle that the current swept against them as they moved ahead. Now, when they started walking ahead, they had to see some real, you can say, bad scenes, or you can say some tragedy kind of things which they witnessed, because they were able to see the dead bodies which were floating in the water that the stream had brought to them, because they were walking against the stream, okay, this time. So it had brought to them, they could see the dogs and other cattle, goats, the bodies that we had already discussed. They were floating on the water. In every village that they passed, they could barely see a house standing. Prashant now wept out loud and long. He was sure that his family could not have survived this catastrophe. Now, as they were walking continuously and they were passing through the villages, they could not see a house that was standing tall without any damage from that destruction of the cyclone. But and Prashant was not feeling, means he was nervous, he was very much uncontrolled, he was very much lost in his thoughts that his family would not have survived in this super cyclone. Eventually Prashant reached his village, Kalikuda. His heart went cold. Now when he reached somehow at his village, his heart went cold. Went cold means
emotional.
yes, he was emotional. His heart went cold means to say कि जब बोलते हैं ना कि दिल बैठ गया, very much upset, very sad about something. So he felt that his heart went cold. Where their home once stood, there were only remnants of its roof. Where his house was there were only the remnants, means the remaining part he could see of his roof. Some of their belongings were caught, mangled and twisted in the branches of trees just visible above the dark waters. Now, some of their household things which they were having in their house were found twisted and mangled in the branches of the trees. At the water level might have been up to that level of that tree, so it would have been there. The things might have stuck with the tree branches, and young Prashant decided to go to the Red Cross shelter to look for his family. Now there he decided to go for a place which was a shelter. Red Cross, you might know.
Yes, sir.
What is Red Cross?
Red Cross is a team of such members who.
It is a charitable trust. No? Red Cross is a society. It is a kind of a trust. The people or the members do help such kind of people who have faced any kind of destruction or some kind of natural calamity. Getting?
Group of people.
Yes. So he decided to go there, shelter, and check whether his family was there. Among the first people he saw in the crowd was his maternal grandmother. Weak with hunger, she rushed to him, her hands outstretched, her eyes brimming. Now, when he reached there, among the crowd of so many people were there, he found his maternal grandmother. What is maternal grandmother? Nani. Yes. She was weak with hunger. She went towards him. She ran towards him. Her hands stretched towards him, and her eyes were brimming. Brimming means she was weeping. She was crying. Yes. It was a miracle. They had long given him up for dead. Now, for both of them, it was a miracle because he did not think about that somebody would have survived, and they had also not thought that he would have survived in this cyclone. So, it was a miracle for all of them. Quickly, word spread, and his extended family gathered around him and hugged him tight in relief. Now, soon the news spread that Prashant had survived and he was there in the shelter. So, everybody of the family gathered around him and they hugged him with love, and that affection was felt. Prashant anxiously scanned the mortally battered group. His brother and sister, his uncles and aunts, they all seemed to be there. Then he suddenly looked the group of the people. His eyes were searching for each and every member, whether they were there or not, because he did not want to lose any one of them. So he scanned quickly. Yes, so then when something has changed at your home and you suddenly go and check everything is there or not. So he also felt that he did not want to lose anybody of his family. So he suddenly scanned the group completely and found that everybody was there. You've been out for a long time, huh? By the next morning, as he took in the desperate situation in the shelter, he decided to get a grip over himself. Then, in the next morning, when they were taking a shelter in that Red Cross societies, so he decided to get a grip over himself, means he wanted to do something. He sensed a deadly grief settling upon the 2,500 strong crowd in the shelter. Now he felt that grief of those people who were there in the shelter and their loved ones had already been found dead or were missing. So he could feel that grief. You know grief? Sorrow? Dukh, takleef. He could feel that grief of such people. 86 lives were lost in the village. All the 96 houses had been washed away. Now 86 people had died in that cyclone, and 96 houses, the whole village house, were washed away in that. It was their 4th day at the shelter. So far they had survived on green coconuts, but there were too few to go around such a tumult of people. Now they had been there in the shelter for 4 days. They had survived on the coconut trees for these 4 days, but now there were very few coconuts which were reachable, which could be brought to them, and a huge crowd of people, means 2,500 people were there, so it was a huge crowd for them to manage the food for everybody. Prashant, all of 19 years, decided to step in as leader of his village if no one else did. Now Prashant himself, he is just 19 years old. He himself decided to take the initiative and wanted to take the team ahead, means as a leader, because he thought that if nobody is going to take the responsibility, then he himself has to carry his team. He organized a group of youths and elders to jointly pressurize the merchant once again to part with his rice. Now he made a group of young people as well as the elders who were there to pressurize the merchant. You know the merchant?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the grain merchant, you can say here. So he had to part with his rice, means he should give away the rice so that they will prepare food for all of them. This time the delegation succeeded and returned triumphantly, wading through the receding waters with food for the entire shelter. Now this time the group got success in this getting the rice from the merchant, and they brought the food triumphantly, means they were quite happy that they have got food for all the people who were living in the shelter. No one cared that the rice was already rotting. Branches from fallen trees were gathered to light a reluctant and slow fire on which to cook the rice. Now, this time nobody cared. It happens though sometimes when something is cooked which you really don't like to eat, but when you are hungry, you don't worry about the taste, no? Does it happen?
Yes.
When you are really very hungry. Yeah. So the same thing was there. They hadn't been having a good food for last 4 to 5 days, and this time when they got the rice, so nobody cared whether the rice were already rotten. You know rotten?
Yes.
So the branches of the fallen trees were brought so to have a small and light fire so that they could cook those rice. For the first time in 4 days, the survivors at the cyclone shelter were able to fill their bellies. Now it was the first time in all those 4 days since that cyclone had arrived, they could have full belly food, you can say, पेट भर खाना. His next task was to organize a team of youth volunteers to clean the shelter of filth, urine, vomit, and floating carcasses, and to tend to the wounds and fractures of the many who had been injured. Now, his next task, once you have filled your bellies, now you look after something else. So he decided to have a team of youth volunteers, young people, who would help the people who have got injured in this cyclone and to clean the shelter completely from that whatever vomiting and dead bodies were around that shelter. They had to clean it up so that they would not face any kind of infection or some kind of epidemic that would spread after this flood. On the fifth day, a military helicopter flew over the shelter and dropped some food parcels. It then did not return. The youth task force gathered empty utensils from the shelter. On the fifth day, the rescue team of the government, you can say basically, the military helicopter passed over the village and they threw some of the food parcels, and the volunteers team, they gathered all the utensils from the shelter. Then they deputed the children to lie in the sand left by the waters around the shelter with these utensils on their stomachs. Around the shelter with these utensils on their stomachs to communicate to the passing helicopters that they were hungry. Now, what they did when this helicopter went away after dropping a few food parcels, and it was not enough for all of them. There were 2,500 people, and a helicopter does not carry that much, you know. So the helicopter did not return after that. So what they did, they made the children to lie outside the shelter on the sand which was left after the water had passed away from there. So what they did, they made them lie on the sand and they put the utensils on their stomach so that it would be a message, it would be a communication to the helicopters that were passing from there. They would understand that these people are hungry. The message got through, and after that the helicopter made regular rounds of the shelter, airdropping food and other basic needs. Now this trick worked for them, and the helicopters came with the basic needs and as well as the food also. It was regularly now. Prashant found that a large number of children had been orphaned. He brought them together and put up a polythene sheet shelter for them. Women were mobilized to look after them while the men secured food and materials for the shelter. Now later on Prashant came to know that there were so many children who were orphaned after this cyclone. You know orphan?
Yes.
Okay. So when he came to know that some of the children have lost their parents, so he put them together and made a polythene shelter for all of them. Some women were given the duty to look after these kids, and some men were also given a duty to bring food and basic things for them. As the weeks passed, Prashant was quick to recognize that the women and children were sinking deeper and deeper in their grief. Now, as a few days later, he realized that some of the women and men and children were sinking deeper and deeper in their grief. Means they had lost their families, some had lost their parents, some had lost their children. So people were getting that pain. They were having the food all the time. They were having a proper shelter. There was no work for them to do, so they were free. And when you are free, you think about anything. Basically, when you have recently had a shock or recently had a panic news, so you really feel about that. So they were feeling like that. He persuaded the woman to start working in the food for work program started by an NGO, and for the children he organized sports events. Now what happened? He made the women to work for the NGO who was working for food, and for young kids he organized sports events. He himself loved to play cricket, and so he organized cricket matches for children. Now he himself was a cricket lover, so he organized the cricket matches for children. Prashant engaged with other volunteers in helping the widows and children to pick up the broken pieces of their lives. Now he was busy with the people who were helping the people who had lost their family or their parents or their children, to make a proper life once again, to just forget that loss which they have just seen in their lives. The initial government plan was to set up institutions for orphans and widows. Now government had first decided or initiated to make a center, make a place for the people who have lost their families and for the children who have lost their parents. However, this step was successfully resisted, as it was felt that in such institutions children would grow up without love and widows would suffer from stigma and loneliness. Now, this initiative was resisted, means stopped, because they thought if they create such kind of center or shelter or institution for the people who are living alone, will not be, the children would not grow properly. They would be growing without love, means nobody is there to look for them, nobody is there to talk to them. So this would not work properly, and the women who have been widows now, they would also feel some loneliness. Prashant's group believed orphans should be resettled in their own community itself, possibly in new foster families made up of childless widows and children without adult care. Now, so what they did, his group thought about this, and they thought that the new children, means those who have got orphaned now, they should be settled in the same community which they belong to, means the same society which they belong to. So what they decided, they made a foster family, means which was made up by the situation. So they created that, and children will be without adult care. It is 6 months after the devastation of the super cyclone. This time Prashant's wounded spirit has healed simply because he had no time to bother about his own pain. His handsome youthful face is what the widows and orphan children of his village seek out most in their darkest hour of grief. Now he is the one who looks after all the orphans of the village, all the widows of the village, because he has taken the responsibility to look for them. And whenever they are feeling any kind of loneliness, or whenever they have the feeling when they remember their loved ones who have been lost in that cyclone, so they find his face, his smile there around them. He is there who's been working for them for last 6 months since the cyclone has passed away, and his own pain he forgets when he sees their pain. Understanding? Is that clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now question number 1. What havoc has the super cyclone wreaked in the life of the people of Odisha? What thing? Havoc means what thing has happened? What has been brought by this cyclone?
We do not want to be
Yes.
The